All right, guys, this is week 2 of functions programming. Let's do a quick little overview so you guys know what to expect. Monday's workout, we got upper body strength work, bench press, 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps to 1 to 2 reps in reserve. We got that with dual dumbbell overhead presses and banded pull apart. So we're going to work on just upper body strength here. We're going to hit different angles horizontally. We're going to work on the overhead position, and then we're going to also work on some pulls to kind of balance things out. The goal of this is to work on strength building here. So make sure you're getting close to a challenging rep range. If you're kind of exceeding 12 and you're like, oh, I could probably do more, go a little bit heavier. That way you can kind of get into that right zone with this. So you should be within 6 to 12 reps, and also you are within a 1 to 2 reps left in the tank in that set. So it's like if I'm doing a set and then I get to like 8 reps and I'm like, I probably have only 1 or 2 left in the tank, that's where you stop. That's a goal. We're trying to be a little bit more aware of where effort levels are too as well, and just getting a sense of like how the fatigue is building up in our shoulders and our arms when we're doing these movements, so that we can also get a better sense of how to challenge ourselves. Sometimes some of you guys, when you're doing your movements, you're just going and going, and then all of a sudden you hit a wall and you don't even notice when that actually comes. So this is also helping you map it out a little bit better in your brain of like, okay, these are kind of when it starts to feel like a 7 out of 10, then it feels like an 8 out of 10. That way you can better pace in, judge kind of what your difficulty levels should be in each of these movements and how you should progress them. So same as last week of the upper body strength work for Monday. So compare it to last week. And then our workout, we're going to work on a little bit of rowing intervals today. Pretty straightforward. We're going to row 100 meters, rest a minute, 200 meters, rest a minute, 300, rest a minute. And you're going to keep going. And the idea is in 15 minutes to get all of the intervals done, or at least on the back half of the interval. So we're working on endurance, working on bettering our rowing mechanics too as well. And you want to approach each interval at an 80% pace, so at a challenging pace for you. That's Monday. Wednesday and Thursday, as you guys know, are our neuro days. We're going to focus Wednesday on our coordination or balance, range of motion. So we're going to do some assessments in the beginning so that you guys can figure out for yourselves what you're lacking in and what areas we should be kind of focusing on. And then today's or Wednesday's focus is going to be around motor control drills around the scapula and the wrist as well. We're going to make it more targeted towards the cerebellum. So we're going to work on some accuracy challenges, coordination challenges to do that, and assess and see what movements make our body feel looser, stronger, more balanced, and what movements maybe make them feel worse, which is good to know as well, because we want to make sure those movements don't cause that kind of effect, so we can train them and make it feel safer when we do those movements. So for example, some of you guys might find when you move your left shoulder, you get better range of motion, but then when you do your right shoulder, for whatever reason, things get tight. And sometimes it's really it's a matter of imbalances. Maybe it's to do with, again, your brain doesn't have a good map around how to move that shoulder blade. There could be tons of them, but this is the way to start addressing it and starting to move better. So that's the first half, guys. Really fun stuff, really specific stuff that is tailored towards you, which is really cool. So make sure you take lots of notes, and obviously you can do these movements at home easily. After that, our workout, 15 minutes. We're going to do a new movement, 10 alternating gorilla rows. So this is kind of like a bent over row, but we're working on some coordination. So we're going to row one and then push one down and then row with the other one. And we're just going to alternate which arms we row. Then we're going to do 15 cross-body sit-ups, followed by 200 feet of farmer's carry, and just moving for 15 minutes. We're working on our strength or our endurance here, and the idea is to just keep an eye out on our posture. I want you to really focus on that. More of a dynamic posture, so when we're doing our gorilla rows, really getting good length there. Cross-body sit-ups, can we create good length in the spine when we rotate and flex your hip? And then even in the farmer's carry, like automatically you're going to feel that, but just creating the awareness as we're doing it to really strengthen those areas, and just be aware in general of where your posture is with each of these movements. So that's the focus of Wednesday. Thursday is more joint mobility and focused on the motor control aspect. So focus on how do we move these places. We can be flexible, but why is that useful if we can't even move them into those places and have strength in them? So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on 2 joints, elbows and knees today. When we're doing these movements today, I want you to focus on the control of it, feeling the range of motion, going slow. We're going to do them in different shapes, different speeds. We're going to load them and we're going to try different positions for each of them so that you guys can really create good brain maps around how to move the elbows and the knees. The workout, 5 rounds for reps, pretty straightforward. 1 minute assault bike at a tough pace, 2 minute easy recovery. So you're just riding still, but just trying to use that pace to just get your heart rate back into check. You're going to track only the 1 minute intervals, and you're tracking calories for this. So the idea of this is to really get into that higher intensity zone, kind of challenge that a little bit more while still building a good foundation in fitness, by getting down to that lower heart rate and working on our heart rate recovery too as well. So a lot of cool attributes coming out of this workout. Next workout would be your Saturday, kind of like a mirror of Monday's workout, but for the lower body. Squats, lunges, and single leg calf raises, same ideas, 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, going to 1 to 2 reps in reserve. So building strength and building more understanding of our effort levels here. So that's the main starting point. When we're done that, our workout is going to be upper body dominant. We got 4 time, and you got 10 minutes to work through this with 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 3, 2, 1 reps of push-ups and ring rows. So the goal of this is going to be a challenge of the upper body. So you're challenging upper body stamina and strength too as well. I choose progressions today that you're doing probably each of those sets in 2 sets or less. So in the 10s, maybe 6 and 4 or 5 and 5. And then as you go to the 9s, it could be 5 and 4, for example, and so forth. But good little challenge in the upper body. So you're going to hit everything today. So really well-balanced workout. So that's Saturday. And then our community WOD. This workout's a fun one. You're going to do this in teams of 2 or 3. Break it up however you guys like. And as always, one person's working. 10 dumbbell snatches, 10 burpee box jump overs. You can modify these burpee box jump overs with a burpee and then a step over. Maybe we step over a dumbbell. Maybe we step on a plate and over. And you can modify your burpees, so make them a little bit higher, kind of like from an incline off a bar or a box. And the idea of this one is to go all the way down to the 15 burpee box jumps at the end and then move our way back. And as you guys know, Sundays has that theme of open workouts. So this is where that kind of inspiration came for this one. Now, when you finish this workout, something that's not in the open workout is that you're going to go backwards again. Because you're doing it in teams of 2 or 3, you can kind of divide the reps. So that's why I'm going to add that extra challenge in there for you guys. So really good one to get a good sweat on, work on some bodyweight gymnastics and a little bit of weightlifting too as well. So hope you guys have a great week with this. Don't forget about the CFW Open. Stay tuned. There will be a video on that. I'll be recording a video to kind of give you guys more insight and hopefully answer some questions if you guys have any on that. And then that's right, get your team set up, sign up for it. January 23rd is the first open workout. So it'll be a fun one to get kick started. 3 weeks of competition. And then we got our finals on February 21st. That's a Saturday, about 6 weeks from now, I believe. But it's going to come by fast. So I hope to see you all out there. If you have any questions, definitely message me. But enjoy your workout week.